afternoon and good evening to some of you on the East Coast, and welcome to Empty Cradle's 2021 Walk to Remembrance Ceremony. My name is John Redhouse, and this is my wife, Rachel Redhouse, and we are the directors of Empty Cradle. I am also the loving father of JT Redhouse and Gabriel Redhouse. For those not familiar with Empty Cradle, we are a 501(c) nonprofit with a mission of supporting parents who have experienced the loss of a baby to miscarriage, TFMR, stillbirth, infant death, SIDS, or SUID. We offer peer support meetings, online and phone support, memory boxes, sibling backpacks, miscarriage bags, financial assistance for cremation, healthcare education, and our mother-to-mother program. Empty Cradle was founded in 1982 by 3 families that had experienced the loss or shortly after pregnancy in the late 70s and early 80s. There was little to no community support for parents experiencing pregnancy loss. These families led the way in creating a safe, supportive environment for parents to share in their grief and healing. I want to also thank our sponsor, FedEx Ground Rialto Line Haul. This is FedEx's 6th year sponsoring our Walk to Remember, and we are so grateful for their continued support. Thank you to our speaker, author Christy Wopat. Thank you also to our special guest singer and performer, Sky Wilson. We are also excited to welcome our daughters, Kayah Redhouse and Olivia Redhouse, who will be singing today. Thank you to Karina Vera-Agnew, Alexis Melrose, Stephanie Gehrs, and my wife, Rachel, who all helped organize and plan the event this year. We also would like to thank Teresa Dang, Vanessa Mikulich, Mackenzie Burros, Jacquie Azize-Brewer, Lori Knierim, and Jill Landry for helping distribute local pickups. Thank you to our children, Alden, Kayah, Olivia, and Avery, and Rachel's parents, Jeff and Sandy Foster, who have helped us plan, organize, set up, pack shipments, and lots more for this walk and all our past events. Thank you.
The past 14 months have been extremely difficult for so many people. We have seen changes in our daily lives, some small, some huge. Empty Cradle as an organization has seen lots of changes as well. In March 2020, we had to quickly cancel all of our in-person support meetings and come up with alternatives to continue to support bereaved families. We've struggled to stay connected to our Empty Cradle families and maintain our volunteer base. Despite the changes and difficulties we have faced, we have been able to expand our support meetings and services. For the first time ever, we have implemented virtual meetings that have allowed us to support families all across the country, including a meeting in Spanish that has been needed for many years. We have even welcomed volunteers from other states and across the country who have donated their time for phone and email support. While it has been a difficult year, the changes that we have made have allowed us to help even more families. In the past year, we've donated over 400 memory boxes, 300 sibling backpacks, and 150 miscarriage bags to hospitals throughout Southern California. With the help of 2 grants from the Eleanor Hutchinson Foundation on behalf of Andrew and Brittany Sutton, we provided financial assistance for cremation to almost 25 families in the amount of over $9,000. We look forward to opening our in-person meetings and events in the next couple of months, and we hope to continue to expand our services. In 2002, John and I were living in New Mexico, and we had a miscarriage at 12 weeks. We left the hospital devastated, with empty arms and no resources. In 2003, we were overjoyed that we were pregnant again. At 20 weeks, we found out that we were having a boy, but he had some complications. He had posterior urethral valves, or blockages in his urethra. I was placed on bed rest and was in and out of the hospital for the next 12 weeks. At 32 weeks, I had a C-section, and Jonathan Taylor Leroy Cash Redhouse was born on September 30th, 2003. At 3:30 p.m., weighing a whopping 5 pounds, 10 ounces. He was immediately placed on life support. On October 2nd, we were told that his condition was not compatible with life, and we would have to decide when to remove life support. We took him off life support a couple of hours after we found out, and our son took his last breath. We again left the hospital devastated, with empty arms and no resources. In 2010, we found Empty Cradle. 7 years after the loss of our son. By the time we found Empty Cradle, we were ready to support other bereaved families. John and I have been involved with Empty Cradle for almost 11 years. We have been meeting attendees, meeting facilitators, in-service volunteers, phone and email volunteers, event planners, and a lot more. But we are only here because of the losses that we have suffered. We continue to honor our babies that we have lost and remember them along with the hundreds of bereaved families that Empty Cradle serves every year. I leave you with a quote from an unknown author. Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. We're so excited to have everyone join us today. We are obviously streaming on Facebook, and I hope that we're streaming on our website, but I don't know if it worked. But we'll have the video up. It is recording, so we'll make sure that we post it again later for those of you who are not able to join us right now. I just want to introduce the author of Almost a Mother and Always Ours, Christy Wopat. She's going to give us, talk to us a little bit about her story, and here she is.
Hello, everyone. I'm just really quickly double checking that you can see my screen. And I'm, here it goes. Try it one more time, and if it doesn't work, all right. Well, that is no big deal. We thought it would work, but it didn't. I want to say thank you to Rachel and John. My name is Christy Wopat. I am so honored and thrilled to be here today. I live all the way in Wisconsin, and later on today, I'll tell you how I even know how Empty Cradle exists, because I think it's a pretty special story. To start out with, I am a fourth grade teacher. I am a mom and a wife, and I'm a writer, and I'm most importantly today, I am a bereaved mother. So we have so many similar stories. They can be so different, but in the end, it's the same. In the end, we leave with broken hearts. And my twins were born in 2009. When I was 21 weeks and 3 days pregnant, my water broke on my baby A, my daughter Sophie, and I stayed pregnant for a few more weeks, just hoping against hope that I could stay pregnant long enough for the babies to mature long enough to survive. And so when I was 24 weeks pregnant, I developed an infection and delivered my babies prematurely. And my daughter Sophie died that night, and my son Aiden died the next day. And since the day I left the hospital, I have been on a mission to, much like Empty Cradle, to go around and speak and write and spread the word that you do not have to do this alone, that we are your people. And if you are here, I'm already so excited, because that means that you have found Empty Cradle somehow, that you have found a way to let people in and let people see that you are going to remember your baby or babies. In 2018, I wrote this book, Almost a Mother, and it's called, the subtitle is Love, Loss, and Finding Your People When Your Baby Dies. And my publisher was a little iffy. We couldn't decide about the title of this book, because I would never suggest that anyone is almost a mother. We are all mothers, even when our babies are not here. But there's a story in the end of the book that explains it, but I just want you to know that I don't think you were almost a mother. I also wrote Always Ours, which is a book, a children's book for siblings of babies who die, that gives them permission to remember their siblings. And so it goes through, the illustrations are so incredibly beautiful. But my whole goal is to help people know that it is okay to grieve, and it is okay to remember your babies. I remember a few weeks after the twins died, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't function. I couldn't get out of bed. I basically would pretend to get up while my husband went to work, and then I would go right back to bed. And I was a teacher at the time, and I was on maternity leave, and I'll never forget this day. I was laying there and I had my laptop, and this was 2009. I didn't even have Facebook. Like, I'm that old. And I just went on to Google and I searched, what do I do when my babies died? And I tried every different way that you could phrase that question. My twins died. What do I do? I lost my twins, which, the whole losing thing, there was a lot of advice about calling the police and missing persons, and they were not lost. I knew where they were. But eventually, after I Googled and Googled, I found a blog. And I didn't even know what a blog was at the time. But I started reading it, and I could not believe my eyes. This woman had written out her story about her twins and the journey that she had gone on after her twins died. And I stayed up the entire night reading every post on her blog. And I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that somebody else felt the same way that I did. And so I decided to start my own blog, and I started writing anything and everything. If you go back and read it now, it's like, I don't even know. It's half the time I'm like, oh, this is what I made for lunch today. I actually cooked something. And the other half the time I'm like, you would not believe the dumb thing that someone said to me today about my twins. And I can remember crying so hard as I typed that I couldn't even see the screen. And I was so ashamed of the anger I felt. I was ashamed of pretending I was still pregnant at Target so I could go and touch the baby things. And I was ashamed of the fact that I was so jealous of people I knew that were having babies and that were pregnant. And I was ashamed that I was still grieving. But this amazing thing happened. And other women, other moms started commenting on my blog. And it would be something as simple as, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, I've done that at Target too. Or, oh my gosh, I totally want to kick the lady that's pregnant, which sounds so awful, right? Like, you're so ashamed. But somehow along the way, I learned that I was not alone. And then the most incredible thing happened. I had thought about it for weeks, and I decided that I wanted to post on my blog pictures that I had of Sophie and Aiden when they were in the hospital before they died. And I was so nervous because people in my real life had not been kind about pictures of my twins. They were premature, and they were sick, and they were tiny, and they were bruised. And I wanted so badly to show the world that I had had these babies and they had existed. And so one day I posted these pictures of them, and I got this comment from someone named Bree, and she, all it said was, Sophie and Aiden are so beautiful. And I'll never forget that moment in my life, because it was the first time that someone had said to me, your babies are beautiful. And Bree lived in San Diego at the time, and she went to Empty Cradle support meetings. And so she met several women there, and we have become lifelong best friends. And so the second half of this book is about my friendship with Bree, and how something so simple as a blog comment can change your whole life. And so I write about flying out to visit her, and there are pictures of us in here. Here's Bree. We met in Las Vegas. But really, like, the my whole point of why I'm telling you this story, like, yes, I think it's an incredible connection that I'm over here in Wisconsin and Empty Cradle is in California, but it could have been anybody. But I am so glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you are here and that you have found a way to honor and remember your children, because they are ours. They are always ours. And honestly, nobody is going to do it except for us, if we're honest. So I want you to know that you have permission to grieve as long as you need, to remember forever, and to hold those babies close in your hearts. And that today, when we are listening to the names that Rachel and John and Karina read aloud, we will all be whispering their names up into the universe. And that's what we have each other for. So thank you so much for letting me speak today. If you ever need anything, you can contact me by email or head to my website and email me that way, and I would be happy to be in touch. And thank you so much, Rachel. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Christy. We're so happy that you were able to do this for us. And I read your book very, very early on. I actually took notes of all these different quotes in the book that touched me. And then obviously this story with Bree was really great hearing that. And just knowing that we're making a difference, and that really we just all need that connection with other people. We don't want to be in this club, but we are. So thank you so much. Next, I would like to introduce Skye Wilson. She's a lost mother. She's a former board member, volunteer, and she is a talented performer. She's going to tell us a little bit about her story, and then she's going to perform an amazing song for us. So here is Skye Wilson.
There we go. Sorry about that. I want to thank the Redhouse family. Thank you guys so much for putting this event together. For gosh, thank you is inadequate. Your family has really done so much for Empty Cradle over the years. I'm so grateful to have met you guys, and I can't even express or measure how much the organization means to me, to my family, and I know to everybody who's ever come through, whether they've come through support meetings or they have found our website and had a chance to come to any of the events, or meet any of the volunteers at different organizations, so that help them find their way to some support. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Empty Cradle for inviting me to be here. So my name is Skye, and I am a bereaved mommy. I have gone through 4 losses. I lost my first pregnancy, and that was back in 2014. I'm so sorry, excuse me, 2004. I've been married almost 20 years, and our first loss was really devastating for my husband and I. It was a miscarriage. I think that you go into your first pregnancy with so much anticipation, and certainly the furthest thing from your mind would be that you would go through a loss. And we did. We went on to have a successful pregnancy. My oldest son is 14, he'll be 15. And my journey with Empty Cradle actually began in 2009. I went on to have a second son. His name is Brandon. And Brandon was born in April of 2009. In fact, he was born on Good Friday. And he was full term. He actually hung out a little, and I'm so grateful that I had the time with him that I did. He was with us for just about 3 days, and he passed away on Easter Sunday. In his instance, it was an unfortunate medical error that took his life. That said, something that our family decided in our greatest time of grief was to become an organ donor family. And my son Brandon actually saved the lives of 2 infants. I know one was a boy, through his donations, and that has become another chapter of our lives that's equally important. And in 2009, I discovered Empty Cradle. I left the hospital with some materials and was not yet ready. But a few months later, I went to my first meeting, and some of my closest, like Christy, some of my closest and dearest friends today actually came through Empty Cradle at the support group meetings. And I was dedicatedly going for quite a long time, and I ended up becoming a meeting coordinator. And Rachel had said, you know, I eventually joined the board and helped out a little bit with the Walk to Remember. And then 5 years ago, I moved out of the state of California, and I am out here in Missouri. So I wanted to tell you a little about Brandon, and I do have 3 other babies in heaven that I honor and remember through a variety of ways. One I was able to honor with a name, and it is a daughter. Her name is Heaven Grace. So I have Brandon James Wilson and Heaven Grace. Heaven followed Brandon. She was my first pregnancy a year after losing him. And it was also a first trimester miscarriage, and we went on to have one after that. In her case, we had some testing done, and that's how I knew she was a girl. So that's a little about my story. Today I wanted to read something that for years has actually meant a lot. Christy had touched on how she kind of got started with trying to find support and answers or comfort or assurance. And I did much of the same. You know, I think we all do. We just go looking for, you know, help. I eventually wrote a blog myself, and small world. Later down the road, another one of the donor families that I met had actually been reading my blog about my journey through grief for some time. And we eventually met in person and became friends. But through those years, there was a lot that I did to pour over readings. And the one that I want to share right now was written in a magazine called Still Standing Magazine. And the author of this is Angela Miller, who has a website called A Bed for My Heart. And she writes a lot about her grief journey. She too is a bereaved mother, and this was just really powerful, so I wanted to share it. The name of this writing or article is called What I Want You to Know About Me Today. And I'm going to just go ahead and begin. I am still a person like you, with a life like yours, yet not. I am still a mother like you, yet not at all like you, all at the same time. I wish there was some way that you could understand me, without becoming who I am now. You see, there's a pain that I carry unlike any pain that you carry unless you too are a bereaved mother. The pain I take is always there. It doesn't nap during the day or get safely tucked into bed at night. It follows me everywhere and it never leaves my side, like my son used to do, only grief is not cuddly or sweet. No, a mother's grief is a torturous life sentence that no one wants to live. It's bargaining for a different ending over and over, one where no one dies. It's the panic of it happening again, anytime, anywhere. It's the toxic self-blame that never turns its finger around to blame itself. It's the spiraling of obsessive thoughts. What if only, seeping its poison through every crevice of my mind. It's the regret so convincing that I failed as a mother, powerless to protect my child from death. Yes, grief's emotions are unpredictable as the ocean tide, crashing down on me, drowning me alive. I have 3 kids, not 2. My first son died. There, I said it. I know you may not want to hear it, neither do I. Yet I have to say it over and over and over again to slowly wrap my mind around the incomprehensible truth. My son is dead. I am a mother's worst nightmare, only it's not a dream. It's my life. While you complain about your kids spilling milk or painting the wall, I swallow my grief whole, silently choking on my wish for my problems to be just like yours. Paint splattered all over my walls, milk spilled, covering my kitchen floor. I'm aching for the signs of my toddler living, breathing, playing, alive in my home. I'm longing for the iterations of what could have been. Instead, I have an empty chair at every meal, the contents of my son's entire life neatly stacked in Sharpie-marked boxes in storage that now smells more like mildew and dust than of my son. Instead, my lap seems full, but it is always 1/3 empty. I'm left with a math equation that never equates. No matter how many times I count, my children never add up to 3. One is always missing, and a million more could never replace or erase the pain of missing the one who now lives on in the confines of my memory. It might make you uncomfortable for a moment, but I'm uncomfortable for a lifetime. Either I pretend he never existed for your comfort, or to my discomfort, this new life of mine comes with dreaded and sometimes hostile reactions, blank stares, awkward silences, big eyes bugging out of shocked faces, or worse, looks of despair, pity, shame, sometimes judgment, even turning of backs that walk away, leaving me mid-sentence in my pain, or worst of all, altogether ceasing to be my friend upon discovering that I am a bereaved mother. Please do not judge me by my circumstances that are beyond my control. Do not think you are more powerful than God and that this couldn't happen to you. Do not imply by your words or your looks that I am a terrible mother because my child has died. Do not think I didn't try everything humanly possible to save my son from death. Let me tell you something. If a mother's love were enough to protect her children from all harm, then children would never die. Please remember I did not choose this version of my life. I am living, yet dying, breathing, yet suffocating, laughing, yet crying. I am a mother just like you, yet bereaved, and still a mother all at the same time. There's an eternal hole in my heart, in my life, the size and the shape of him and only him. That one that nothing will be ever able to fill. Sorry. I'm a bereaved mother, a grieving quasi-supermom, and I straddle space and time. You might feel pulled in 2 directions, but let me tell you how it feels to be torn between heaven and earth. As a mother to an angel and a mother to 2 living, breathing, laughing little boys, a mother to the living and to the dead. Let me tell you how it feels to have my son deleted his existence denied because it makes people uncomfortable to hear that he lived and that he died. He is real to me as much as he was in life. He is not some inconvenient truth. He's my son. He will always be my son, just as I will always be his mother, because love never dies. Next time you see me in the grocery store or at the playground or across the street, please remember, I'm still a person like you, with a life like yours, yet not. I am still a mother like you, yet not at all like you all at the same time. I am a bereaved mother, a grieving quasi-supermom. I straddle space and time. I wish there was some way that you could understand me without becoming who I am now. And again, that was written by Angela Miller. And I thank you for listening to that. I'm going to perform a song for you guys. I just wanted to share too that you learn to live with the grief. You learn how to live with it and have it walk beside you with joy, still much a part of your life. When your loss first happens, it seems impossible. I was there. But you do actually learn how to live with it. And I today relate so much with that writing because while my loss that was so significant and led me to Empty Cradle was 12 years ago now, this April, this year, I have two beautiful boys that I am so grateful for, and a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old. And the article just spoke to my heart because that's my reality. I'm 1/3 less, in missing a part of me that lives inside of me. I have this tangible love, or that I can't express in a tangible way, and that's in part my presence here today, is to share that love for my child, but also for yours. And I'm going to do that through this song. And this is a song that I don't know a mom who doesn't love this song. And I also don't know a bereaved mom who isn't touched by this very song. So this is from Dumbo. This is Baby Mine. And I'm going to be performing the Alison Krauss version for you guys. I really hope that it touches your hearts and allows you some time to just reflect upon your journey, your story, as you remember your child or children above. Excuse me. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. Wouldn't it figure? You go to start to do a song and you get a frog in your throat. Here we go. And I appreciate every one of you. Baby mine, don't you cry. Baby mine, dry your eyes. Rest your head close to my heart, never depart, baby of mine. Little one, and you play. Don't you mind what they say? Let those eyes sparkle and shine, never a tear, baby of mine. If they knew, sweet little you, they'd end up loving you too. All those same people who scold you, what they get You, from your head down to your toes, you're not much, goodness knows, but you're so precious to me, sweet as can be, baby of mine. All those people scold you, but they get just for the right to hold you. From your head down to your toes, you're not much, goodness knows. Excuse me, I just am going to finish this. Here we go. So sorry, guys. Let me do this last verse. But you're so precious to me, sweet as can be, baby of mine. But you're so precious to me, sweet as can be, baby of mine. Forgive me, I am so sorry. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. And I just want to thank Empty Cradle for everything and just send all my love out to the bereaved community and let you know that we're all here together and for each other. And that was a little hard to get through, to be honest with you. Some emotions got the best of me, so please forgive me, but my heart was in it, and lots of love to all of you.
Thank you so much, Sky. It was beautiful. And we all know, I know every year I get really choked up in things, and I can't, honestly, I'm not a singer, but I can't imagine being a singer and getting choked up on that. It was amazing. Thank you for doing that. It was beautiful. And thank you for sharing your story and that article. It was amazing. So we appreciate you. John's now going to read a poem that we read every year at the walk. We read it at all of our memorial meetings. It's something that we always include because it's the poem's called A Father's Grief, and it's by Eileen Knight Hagmeister. And it is dads are so forgotten a lot of times in this kind of community, and I think it's one of the only poems that we know of that is about a dad's grief. So, and specifically about losing a baby. So he's going to read that for us.
All right, thank you. It must be very difficult to be a man in grief, since men don't cry and men are strong. No tears can bring relief. It must be very difficult to stand up to the test and field the calls and visitors so she can get some rest. They always ask if she's all right and what she's going through, but seldom take his hand and ask, "My friend, but how are you?" He hears her cry in the night and thinks his heart will break. He dries her tears and comforts her, but stays strong for her sake. It must be very difficult to start each day anew and try to be so very brave. He lost his baby too.
I'm sure a lot of us over the past year have been doing these meetings and Zoom and kids and school and all those things. I'm sure you heard our dog do a little bark there, just part of all of this kind of thing. So next, I want to say that we were super sad. Amy Lynn Black was supposed to sing a song for us, and she's an amazing singer. We love her song. We sing her song every single time at the walk, Fly Away. She had a last-minute emergency, and she was not able to join us today. So we are super sad. However, I just want to tell you, I was connected with Amy in around 2016. She actually graciously gave her blessing for my oldest daughter, Kayah, to sing her song at the walk that year. And I'm super proud and excited that our other daughter, Olivia Redhouse, she is 12 years old, and she's actually going to be singing Amy's song today, Fly Away. So here she is.
Winter fades and was
Sorry, just a tiny technical difficulty. We're gonna just give us 1 second. I apologize. We all know these things happen. So just a second.
winter came and left its scars, shadows of a broken heart. And I know the spring will come someday, but you came and stole my heart away. And now you're here, but you cannot stay. You're gonna spread your wings and fly away. I'll say goodbye just for a time, 'cause soon there's gonna come a day. But for now, butterfly, fly away. The winter fades and spring appears. The flowers grow where there once was tears. A fragile rose, you're gone too soon. Don't, I'm gonna miss you. And now you're here, but you cannot stay. You're gonna spread your wings and fly away. I'll say goodbye just for a time. Soon there's gonna come a day. But for now, butterfly, fly away. We had to say goodbye before we said hello. 'Cause now you're here, but you cannot stay. You're gonna spread your wings and fly away. I'll say goodbye just for a time. Soon there's gonna
Thank you for listening to that, and thanks for taking in that little bit of technical difficulty. I'm glad we got through it. But obviously we get a little emotional when they sing those songs, but even more so our daughter singing it makes it a little bit more difficult. So, and she's so sweet to do that song at the last minute especially. So I appreciate her so much. Next, we're going to, I'm really proud to introduce my youngest daughter. Her name is Avery, and she's actually going to be singing, I'm sorry, not singing, reading a poem. It's called We Walk to Remember. This poem was written for Empty Cradle, and it's by Debbie Gemmill, and she's amazing. This is a poem that we always read as well, and she was great to write this for us, and kind of we've been able to use it every year, which is amazing. So here is Avery.
We walk to remember the briefness of their lives, the brightness of their smiles, both imagined and real. We walk to remember the plan of their futures. We remember instead how our future has changed. We walk to remember the joy of anticipation, and now we remember the sweetness of their memory. With each step that we take, we carry our tears, our hopes, our fears, our joy, our dreams. They are now a part of us, and they remain in our faces, on our shoulders, in our hearts. The burden of sorrow, the weight of grief, the preciousness of their being, making each footprint a little deeper, reminding those who follow behind us that we have found a way to walk to remember, so that the rest will not forget.
Thank you, Avery. Okay, our last performance today is actually going to be from our oldest daughter, Kayah, and she's 14. She's going to be singing Everywhere That You Are from the Broadway show, James and the Giant Peach. Just give us just a minute to make sure we're set up this time.
Someone leaves, who knows why, and you never said goodbye. But once we go, we're not gone. We keep living on and on. She whispers in the breeze, he's waving from a star. They are with you everywhere that you are. Left your world all too soon. Look, his face is in the moon. There she smiles, beaming proud. See her laughing in that cloud. And when you feel alone, love is never far. They are how they're with you in everything that you are. Feel them there and everywhere, in everything that you
Thank you, Kayah. All right. So now we have the privilege of reciting your baby's names. We want to apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. They're going to happen. Even though we read a lot of these names every single year, we still make mistakes. So just understand that we're not intentionally saying the names wrong. So it does happen. We have kids who have some unique names, and they definitely get mispronounced constantly, so we understand. We have over 1,100 names to read, so please be patient with us. We will get to your baby's name. If you don't hear your baby's name, please comment with his or her name on the video, and my son is actually watching the comments, and the other kids too. They're going to be writing them down for us, so we will get to them at the end. The list is alphabetical by last name, though, so keep that in mind. You may not hear them for a while if you're a later letter. So we do have those volunteers, though, checking our comments just in case we have some people who didn't hear their baby's name or just wants to add them in and didn't get a chance to. So John's going to go ahead and start.
All right. Like Rachel said, I apologize ahead of time here in case I mispronounce. Chris Abigail, Journey Abel, Enrique Acosta, Julius Enoch Acosta, Trey Michael Adams, Alexander James Abuya, Zarali Ya Afizi, Vera-Agnew, Robert Lawrence Agnew, Sebastian Blake Huygen An, Noah Aaron Emmanuel Alcorn, Joshua Aldridge, Alexander, Andrew Tyler Allen, Quinn Andrew Allen, Juletta Inez Alonzo, Renee Alper, Baby Alvarez, Nicholas Anthony Alvarez, Jordan Aman, Anthony Amos, Hannah Ruth Amos, Alex Ian Anderson, Charlotte Dior Anderson, Indiana Joyce Anderson, Jason L.J. Brian Anderson Jr., Baby Angel, Thomas and Anthony, Victoria Naomi Antion, Aubrey Apodaca, Alexander Jeffrey Arbogast, Iris Arcelia, Julian Miles Armstrong, Elias Ruben Zafra Artegia, Noah Jameson Arthur, Maya Ashlyn, James Mason Astle, Jacob Michael Atkinson, Baby Hour, Angelica Margarita Azize-Brewer, Connor Evan Babson, Corey Ryan Babson, Riley Baldwin, Veronica Lynn Bagnus, Holland Jane Baker, Rachel Ann Baker, Bailey Baldwin, Mackenzie Baldwin Baldwin, Reese Baldwin, Jacob Bales, Daniel Ballard, Gracelyn J. Banks, Jacob Matthew Barfield, Andrew Barkley Jr., AJ, Hope Baskerville, Baby Battles, Angel Alex Bautista, Baby Bean, Violet Becker, Four Babies Beg, Richard James, RJ Beg, Lucas Miles Bellion, Baby Bell, Bailey Alexandria Bell, Deja Marie Bell, Veronica Olivia Benjamin Sheriff, Aria Naomi Angela Bennett, Harley Payton and Emery Twix Bennett, Brian Edward Benton, Isaiah Richard Bermudez, Luis Walter Bernal, Teresa Carolina Bernal, August Gus William Berry, August William Berry, Devin Bahat, Neil Bahat, Payson Aliana Black, Zoe Mara Blanton, Riker William Blechell, Jax Bleen, Zachary Stanton Blevins, Mark Antonio II Blunt, Baby Boy Blue, Isabel Anna Blumenstock, Sam Blumenstock, Reese Bly, Brianna Jacqueline Bobier, Jacqueline and Grace Bowen, Jax Bolin, Riley Elise Bolt, Brandon Bonhivert, Thomas Bowen, Baby Clay Bowen, Mason Carey Bone, Sydney Elizabeth Boyd, Braxton Charles D. Boy, Savannah Lillian Boyer, Gavin Ray Brady, Zelda Amira Bridge, Brianna Brinson, Annabelle Briscoe, Adrian Jose Broccoletti, Andrew Bach, Jack Martins Brooks, Jacob Brown, Kalani Faith Brown, Nathan Thomas Brown, Kyran Noel Bulger, Alexander Adam Burgess, Plum Burton, Harper Ray Picciano Butcher, Spring Fawn Cadet, Bodhi Kane, Molly May Callanan, Baby Campbell, Xander Max Byron Campbell, Jordan David Kennedy, Levi Preston Canning, Amanda Jean Cannon, Georgia Ann Cannon, Mila Canterbury, Hope Cantor, Jonathan Carpenter, Lennon George Carr Stout, Elena Grace Carizales, Adeline Lee Carson, Baby Evans Carter, Theodore Dusty William Carey, Baby Cash, Jonathan Peter Cash, Sam Patrick Kesson, Shiloh Raquel Castaneda, Yuma Catalina Castaneda, Alejandro Castaneda, Joel Castaneda, Angela Rachel Castillo, Bella Miley Castillo, Troy Anthony Castillo, Margot May Castangue, Aviana Catalin, Jonathan Catalin, Jasper Ann Catalin, Alaya Ivory Cottle, Amelia Noel Sija, Ridley Mateo Sensen, Riley Elise Sensen, Jesus Cervantes, Tanner Cervantes, Reagan Chadwick, Joseph R. Chambers, Baby Groot Chambliss, Zayden Jax Chang, Ivan Vance Chapman, Xavier James Charfroys, Baby Chavez, Lucas Donald Chavez, July Rose Chihuahua, Noah Christensen, Lainey Christine, Chloe St. Clair, Baby Clark, Baby Boy Clark, Christian Alexander Clark, William Tristan Clark, Baby Clarkson, Joshua Clarkson, Zachariah Clarkson, Caden Clayton, Cyrus Kleins, Angel Clickney, Sohia Isabel Coeto, Alexander Cogdill, Baby Cone, Mason Andrew Cole, Megan Hope Cole, Baby Boy Coleman, Baby Coleman, Micro Fantastico II Coleman, Alexander Collin, Angel Cook, Matthew Cooper, Dominic Cordova, Samuel Robert Cornwell, Samson Robert Cornwell, Eliseo Corona, Alexandria Bernadette Corrales, Shania Lindsay Cortez, Christian Alejandro Cortez, Dolores Guadalupe Cortez, Gregory Zion Corrette, Maya Elizabeth Covert, Gabriel Ray Crandall, Nolene Hope Cristales, Sean Houston Crow, Gianna Marie Elut Crow, Aiden Cruz, Connor Cruz, Fiakina Alpanaga Kalina Cruz, Zinnia Jillian Schroeder Colbert, Braxton Davis Kundle, Riley Kundle, Alec Dadian, Angel Twins, Olivia and Damien, Oliver Joseph Day, Nikhil Darrow, Emily Davidson, Mia Bell Davies, Sophia Alexis Davies, Alexander Lee Davis, Maddox Desmond Ezra Davis, Baby Davis Kennedy, Liam Grant DeGoy, Heather Ann De DeHaven, Eduardo de los Santos Jr., Jackson R. Delmark, Amanda Dennett, Draven Xavier Dennis, Cameron Jordan Dent, Jacob Bradley Detweiler, Baby Deutsch, Devin Deutsch, Devontae Jr., Bodie DeWitt, Levi Gabriel Diaz, Sebastian Diaz, Grace Lynn Paige Marie, Alyssa Ann DeBelka Patterson, Alana Dickman, Alexa Dickman, Gabby Biondo Deffenbaugh, Jane Melise DeGrulers, Pearl Lilani DeGrulers, Joey Dilla, Joseph David Dilla, Kennedy Alexander Danucci, Delia Ray Durkinson, Baby DeViglio, Dixon Babies, Finley Joanne Dotson, Madeline Marie Dotson, Elliot Doljanin, Olivia Luna Dominguez, Kiva Faith, Tiger Lily Faith, Twins B, Madison Marie Dottit, Baby Dowling, Gregory Doyle, Baby Drews, Kinsey Rose Drews, Tobias Allen Drews, Veronica Dragon, Liam Jackson Dueñas, Tori Mackenzie Dugal, Molly Dugan, Moya Dugan, Austin Grant Duggar, Baby Duke, Bo Duke, Brandon Lee Duke, Joseph Hyatt Duke, Mackenzie Duke, Amanda Courtney Gull, Anthony James Duncan, Blake Rayleigh Dunmeyer, Gavin Ray Dunn, Baby Dunnett, Barbara Olivia Duran, Dusty Michael Durso, Lucy Duty, Riley Matthew Etcher, Chloe Marie Edens, Brianna Edwards, Clarissa Edwards, Jacob Michael Edwards, Gabriel Eifler, Everly Eimer, Galaxy Loran Luell Elliott, Keenan Ellis, Roxy Lee Elsmore, Dallas Ray Ember, Brandon Ingbritson, Baby Engel, Baby Engel 2, Faye Engel, Amy Engel, Cassie Engel, Molly Engel, Robin Engel, Logan Erickson, Adeline Olive Erico, Elisa Molina Escalente, Tatiana Escobar, Annalisa Jordan Espinelli, Caden M. Espiritu, Alejandra Gianna Essick, McKenna Estelle, Raymond Red Eagle Estrada, Gabriella Aaron Ezrilov, Caden Matthew Fakes, Landon John Falatico, Olivia Meisheng Feng, Baby Farrington, Brian Farrington, Loa Charlotte Faulkner, Aiden Chuang Felipe, Baby Fentrez, Kristen Fentrez, Baby Ferranatello, Spencer Catherine Fattel, Ella Grace Fingerman, Carrington Finn, Baby Del Fiorentino, Hudson Bennett Fleischman, Brianna Flores, Brennan Flores, Estella Isabel Flores, Joshua Lindsay Fogel, Skylar Foster, Timothy Michael Frankel, Leo Franklin, Bobby Franks, Evian Corey LaShawn Frederick, Emmanuel Corey Frederick Jr., Baby French, Azriel Owen French, Zoe Madeline French, Cassandra Nicole French, Carlitos Friday, Spencer Allen Frostrom, Olivia Ann Fulcher, James Sean Fuller, Catherine Elizabeth Gagne, Baby G. Galizio, Jack Galizio, Alexander James Gallo, Riley Jameson Gallo, Sergio Galvan, Baby Gant, Amanda Milagros Garcia, Amelia Sarui Garcia, Benjamin Miguel Chilin Garcia, Bryn Lee Garcia, Daniel David Garcia, Peace Garlejo, Baby Garlo, Angela Wanda Garman, Penelope Garrity, Amari Douglas Gary, Sylvia Sage Gassaway, Trace Gadet, Tessa Ashley Ginberg, Joseph Gehrs, Mary Lynn Gehrs, Brandon James Jania, Matthew Ayers Gerhardt, Brian Edward Gershon, Baby Gibson, Carolyn Maria Gibson, Chance Ponyboy Gill, Caleb Gerdner, Miranda Giselle, Ava Glatzel, Baby Goebel, Julia Ann Goebel, Ethan Zane Goman, Finn Everett Goins, Jason Gorecki, Michaela Gomez, Baby G number 1 and Baby G number 2 Gonzalez, Elliot Gonzalez, Miles Gonzalez, Oliver Gonzalez.
Adon Gonzalez, Olivia Gonzalez, Baby Bean Gonzalez, Baby Lara Gonzalez, Emmanuel Leopoldo Gonzalez Campos, Eliza Grace, Nathan Grauer, Taylor Grauer, Blues Gray, Lexi Michelle Gray, Kelly Marie Green, Trevor Reese Green, Morgan Taylor Greeter, Elizabeth Griffith, Jesse O'Neill Grisham, Angela and Kristen Gross, Michaela Grace Gross, Luca Doro Grosina Concha, Jordan Guarino, Lorenzo Guarino, Baby Guerrero, Joseph William Guerrero, Rose Guerrero, Paula Halo Guimont, Trevor Eugene Gutierrez, Violet Reyes Gumapas, Adrian Gutierrez, Baby Gutierrez, Julian Francisco Gutierrez, Miriam Francisco Novoa Moreno Gutierrez, Oren Gutzweiler, Baby Harris Haas, Megan Leanne Harris Haas, Connor James Hale, Alan Jeffrey Hall, David Eric Hall, Nicholas Michael Hall, Elizabeth Hamburg, Ezra Hamid, Jonathan Allen Hamilton, Jaylene Hanna, Baby Bean Hankins, Baby Virgo Hankins, Madeline Hope Hansen, Wolf Ryder Hansen, Cortland Harding, Spencer Jeffrey Thomas Hargrove, Christian Anaya Gabrielle Harold, Ava Rose Harris, Baby Zane I. Harris, Bean Harris, Joshua Reese Harris, Zane Isaac Harris, Aaron Liam Harrison, Logan Charles Harrison, Aiden Harshon, Keeney Hartshorn, Zachary Hartshorn, Chadwick Haruki, Lil Rev Hatlevig, Haven, Callie Marie Hayes, Elena Hayward, Audra Colleen Hayward, Alexandria Francis Hazard, Lucas Hurd, Cameron Shrimp Henderson, Jason Peanut Henderson, Aliana Hope Henton, Jose Heredia, Ryan Anthony Herman, Isabella Hermans, Melanie Jane Hearn, Baby Hernandez, Atsil Arandi Hernandez, Chloe Ariana Hernandez, Baby Hernandez, Maria Aubrey Herrera, Sophia Uretzi Herrera, Jedrick Joseph Hetherington, Carter Hicks, Naomi Rose Hightower, Nolan Michael Hill, Caden Holes, Joshua Holes, McKenna Holes, Blake Andrew Honeycutt, Quinn Hopkins Cordua, Malia Kyoko Horton, Colin Michael Horwitz, Christopher Howe, Carolyn Nikhil Howard, Carter Howell, Rylan Andrew Hudson, Courtney Huey, Reed James Huffman, Avery Joelle Huff, Baby Honeycutt, Caden Honeycutt, Jet Hunter, Kyle Alexander Emergut, Xavier Rocket Emery, Aiden Iniguez Rubio, Minami Rose Ioko, Anthony Joseph Arachi, Sophia Isabella, William Mackay James Isom, Cora Joe Rogers Jackson, Ethan DiTieri Jackson, Samantha Lucia Jackson, Eva Grace and Elena Jade, Isabella Jamie, Chloe Lorraine James, Cody James, Matthew Jankowski, Jillian Rose Jasper, David Ryan Jasic, Baby Jensen, Alexander Jensen Elliott, Kara Nicole Jertberg, Danica Jertberg, Benjamin Luis Jimenez, Cassandra Jimenez, David Clark Johnson, Faye Le Elima Rice Johnson, George Gabriel Johnson, Kevin Paul Johnson, Nathaniel Alicia Ashvik Johnson, Nora Grace Johnson, Joaquin Jones, Alice Lee Jones, Onyx Baby Jones, Caleb Joseph, Amberly Joy, Harley Judson, Sawyer June, Caden and Camila, Darren Justin Kane, Avion Kapoor, Penny Kaleski, Baby Kazmi, Avery Eugene Cagle, Jacob Kaloa Lopez, Joseph Alika Kaloa Lopez, Sierra and Grace Keeley, Baby Keller, Buck and Carly Kelly, Autumn Miracle Kendrick, Brinley Faith Kennard, Allison Celeste Kernasek, Kaylee May Kersey, Noah David Keita, Reese Jordan and Avery Kimmel, Angela Hannah Kindig, Carter James Kindig, Joseph Louis King, Larry Glenn Kirsch, Wyatt Nash Nelson, Sage Kleiniter, Matthew Knierim, Anne Marie Knight, Brannon F. Knox Jr., Adam Robert Kozian, Claire Elizabeth Kotnick, Aaron Kotnick, Ava Kinsley Kramer, Jacinta Kaur, Noah Kukla, Amani Mackenzie Karaishi, Island Kawiki Kurashima, Jasmine Angelina Kurtz, Aurora Lacey Labonte, Jordan Martin LaGuardia, Daisy Junior Lang, Katharina Langhorst, Sadie Lantry, Matthew Larrabee, Alexis Michelle Latimer, Thomas Laura, Baby Law, Elijah William LeBrun, Angel Lee, Ariel Zoe Lee, Raylan Jolie, Leapier Freeman, Madison Ashley Lever, Bina Lefkowitz, Baby Laconis, Caitlin Colleen Laconis, Sydney Allison Lentz, Jacob Lesh, Poppy Joy Levy, Cole Owen Lewis, Josiah Kushan Lewis, Andy Lewis Herrera, Damon Giovanni Lieski, Theodore Zuko Liu, Jocelyn Light, Matthias James Loran, Shayla Michelle Leugman, Raven Cheyenne Longnecker, Baby Van Loon, Evan J. Lopez Martinez, David Gold Loss, Stella B. Lossing, Jesse Adams Loden, Madeline Apple Lauer, Charlie Lucas, Sergio Noel Luna, Baby Lurie, Baby M, Andrew Nicholas Mace, Baby Macias, Anthony Michael McLeod, Baby McPherson, Michael Richard Macy, Akul Madan, Charlotte Ann Maddie, Natalia Isabel Mahoney, Kennedy Olivia Mayumak, Ian Mencia, Cade Josiah Manor, Alyssa Marie, Hector Marquez, Lito Kerr Marquez, Christopher Joseph Marshall, Paul Martin, Alex Julian Martinez, Bronson Alexander Martinez, Elijah David Martinez, Jasmine Janae Martinez, Shayla Jordan Martinez, Xavier Michael Martinez, Sarah Louise Gallagher Martinson, Melody Leticia Mason, Angelina San Mateo, Jamie Mathis, Thomas Mathistad, Kirk Gary Matthew III, Elijah Michael Matthew, Alani Jaleesa Matlock, Emma Matthew, Josiah Matthew, Joshua Matthew, Zoe Matthew, Twin B Maturo, Baby Chung and May, Eternity Joy Main, Baby Bang, Sydney Alana McCoy, Angel Brock McCreesh, Gabriel Ray McCreesh, Miley Marie McCullough, Maverick McDonald, Jameson McGee, Rory Lawrence McGee, Grace Angel McGovern, Hope Pearl McGovern, Alexander James AJ McKinnon Huerta, Amaya McNair, Anissa McNair, Tasha Jadalyn McQueen, Anais Irene Mela, Jude Mejas, Josiah Manuel Medina, Baby Meek, Ella Medjerdishian, Idette Guadalupe Mejia, Devonte Jordan Mejia, Duvier Mejia, Baby McKean, Steely Douglas William Arthur Moline, Benjamin David Melrose, Ava Renee Mendoza, James Olivia Masika, Wyatt Anthony Metro, Adrian Nahum Meza, Baby Meza, Vicente Thomas Meza, Anne Elizabeth Michelson, Dylan Jerome Mikulich, Angel Mikulich Carey, Bethany Miller, Joshua Arlen Miller, Zachary Miller, Melissa Lynn Baker and Miners, Elijah Natividad Miramontes, Timothy C. Mirlis, Madison Renee Meisner, Warren Lucas Mobini, Baby and Mocklig, Cameron Christopher Madro, Logan Zachary Moeller, Gianna Ariel Molina, Ryan Michael Monsu, Hannah Monero, Ethan Seth Monson, Hannah Montiero, Lucas Montez, Misha Montoya, Ciara Nicole Moore, Destiny Anila Moore, Charlotte Ray Moorhead, Zachary Joseph Moorhead, Zaira Beatrice Moorhead, Lila Morales, Jackson James Moravec, Baby Mordich, Nevaeh Rose Morgan, Baby Morrill, Megan Hope Morris, Logan Morse, Charlotte Rachel Moss, Mia and Chloe Montenko, Donovan Ace Mount, Alana Moya, David Matthew Mulbauer, Lenica Marie Munoz, Branch Murdoch, Rudy Jesse Murillo, Aubrey Myers, Thomas Anthony Nagy, Baby Birnbaum Nall, Evelyn Rose Nally, Cecilia Therese Nash, Jeffrey Milan, Nathaniel Brandon Nelson, Ace Nelson, Jasper Levi Nestor, David Robert William Nettles, Emily Nicole Newberger, Baby Newkirk, Carson Parker Newman, Hannah Grace Nichols, Boaz Everett Nickel, John Walter Nickel, Sam Nitch, Sarah Nitch, Isaiah J. Noel, Gabrielle Eileen Norris, Haley Ann Norris, McKinley Norton, Kelsey Ray Nuanes, Jacqueline Mary Nuffer, Sean David Nuffer, Aubrey May Nyland, Claire and Gloria O'Laughlin, Charlotte Lindsay O'Neill, Magdalena Rose Obermans, Michael Philip Obermans, Emily Francesca Ochoa, Oleg, Theodore Terrence Olson, Connor Patrick Olson, Angelica Ordaz Duenas, Harmony Ordonez, Chris Ornelas, Aaron Ornelas, Jesse Ornelas, Jordan Ornelas, Madeline Rebecca Orozco, Baby Boy Ortega, Baby Ortega, Jonathan Ortega, My Little P Ortega, Serenity Angel Rose Ortega, Cyrus Ortiz Boulay, Tessa Amaret Owens, Braden Austin Paau, Charlie Pepper, Shelby Lee Pepper, Matthew Pepper, Faith Gray, Baby Rogers, Kaylee Rogers, Aubrey Bird. And now we're going to have Karina read the rest of the names, but please continue commenting if you haven't heard your baby's name yet.
Thank you. Pablo, Michael John Pages, Marie Dawn Pankow, Hayden Parker, Ivy Inez Torres Peradu, Colton Samuel Parrott, Angel Patron Ong, Gabriel Patron Ong, Hope Patron Ong, The Baker Sweet Peas, Daniel Joseph Peeler, Ziana Reese Pena, Miranda Giselle Pena, Aiden Alexander Pena Odal, Trevor Patrick Pendleton, Finley Crew Pensinger, Pablo Isaiah Martinez Pepito, Avery Jose Blas Perez, Gianna Angelica Perez, Cassandra Oramas Perez, Zayden Giovanni Perez, Adeline Mary Perez, Eslin Perez Martinez, Aaron Perez Uribe, Briley Madison Perkins, Alexis Pete, Alyssa Pete, Legend Ramel Peters, Grace Elizabeth Peterson, J.B. Peterson, Melissa Peterson, James Cole Peterson Cabrera, Eliza Petty, Harper Ray Picciano Butcher, Adam Pfeiffer, Ashlyn Marie Platek, Justin Horiki Platel, Caleb Stephen Podboreski, Alana Bell Pollard, Shannon Poley, Baby Twins Potter, Brody J. Pratt, Leah Louise Preston, Levi Preston, Catherine Leah Priest, Zachary Priest, Charles Bernard Prox Jr. CJ, Matthew William Provost, Giovanna Krista Pryor, Juliette Purdy, Alexandria Pusek, Alexander Quintanar, Jacob Rebello, Liliana Ray Radcliffe, Charles Pierce Rainbolt, Shelby Renee Palmer Rajnik, Elias Williams Ramirez, Evangeline Ramos, Anastasia Marine Garcia Randall, Elena Jade Runhell, Evangeline Grace Runhell, Jackson Rattray, Luca James Reams, Noah David Reams, Gabriel Redhouse, Jonathan Taylor Leroy Cash Redhouse, Adam Grayson Reed, Gabriel Reed, Harmony May Rosie Reed, Baby Girl Reichert, Mackenzie Hope Wren, Savannah Grace Renfro, Baby Rapetti, Kalyani Renee Resulte, Jasmine Lee Reverie, Jackson Scott Reynolds, Gabriel Rode, Madeline Diana Richards, Ford Douglas Richardson, Ava Jade Richardson Neal, Russell Von Richter, Megan Janet Riesberg, Leo Terrence Riggs, Dylan Riley, Gabriela Rios Nogales, Twin Baby Girls Risky, Alison Grace Rivas, Jared Aceves Rivera, Jonathan Raymond Rivera, Josiah and Yaretsi Rivero Medrano, Baby Rivero Medrano, Samuel M. Rivers, Ian Jason Roberts Jr., Braden and Brinley Robertson, Abigail Marie Robinson, Daniel Joseph Robinson, Robert Brooks Robinson, Dawson Chance Robison, Alexander Perry Rodabaugh, Braylon and Avery Rodriguez, Bravery, Erica Rodriguez Marin, Judith Cherie Rodriguez, Kevin Matthew Rodriguez Jr., Grace and Gabriel Rogers, Rebecca Hope Rogers, Lawrence Romano, Baby Ronigan, Eli Jonas Ronigan, Nicholas Raymond Rosas, Eric James Rosine, Baby Ross, Claire Genevieve Ross, Isaiah Robert Ross, Sloan Abigail Rothenberg, Jordan Marie Roth, Trey Gabriel Rowland, Benjamin Allen Ruby, Max Ray Relas, Baby Reese, Vanilla Rupp, Coleman James Rustin, Cole Eric Rualcaba, James Daniel Saavedra, Sierra Kathleen Big Sabala, Jermaine Salas Gonzalez, Alexa Salazar, Aiden Christopher Salmon, Nadia Nori Sane, Andrew Sanchez, Baby Sanchez, Liliana L. Sanchez, Ray Angel Sanchez, Savannah Juliet Sanchez, Sean Eduardo Sanchez, Enoch Israel Sandoval, Cooper Santee, Aiden Saucedo, Arthur Reyes III Saucedo, Baby Saucedo, Christian Saucedo, Derek Saucedo, Dean Savage, Sean and Brandon Scarlett, Elliot Thomas Schaefer, Liam Diego Schauer, Ashley Bayer Scheel, Abigail Michaela Schmidt, Nicole Schmitz, Johnny Jr. Schmitz, Baby Show number 2, Tristan Show, Hannah Ray Schreib, Catalina Ray Schroeder, Sophia Alexander Schroeder, Danielle Schweikert, Jackson Cole Seifries, Nevin Michael Sewell, Wyland Patrick Seeger, Penelope Siha, Gabriel Reno Salvaggio, Junior Sank, Baby Seraphin, Kalila Ren Cerna, Isaiah William Sessoms, Bronx William Sexton, Trevor Malachi Sexton, Baby Boy Shafiro, Clifford Zane Shafiro, Mercy Shamas, Gabriel Shamoon, Amante Seward Shannon II, Spanda Sharma, Catherine Elizabeth Shaw, Emily Bell Shekels, Abdur Rahman Shendi, Baby Shendi, Haven Sherman, Gabriel Vincent Schoaf, Liliana Schuler, Matthew David Shoup, Tara Amber Sidney, Solana Jean Signer, Ashley Liliana Silas, Jordan Marielle Silva, Catherine Ann Shavlosky Simone, Ashlyn Sky, Skylar, Jagger Sloan, Michaela Smirno, Kyrie Rossi Ray Smith, Buttercream Smith, Marley Elizabeth Smith, Michael Alexander Smith, Dathan Anorak Snyder, Alyssa Nicole Soto, Jovi Rebecca Spear, Baby Stahlhofer, Cameron Jean Staple, Lainey Christine Starcher, Chase Matthew Steffen, Baby Steigerwald, Jasmine Steigerwald, Roderick Cornell Stinson, Timberly Brooke Stodden, Benjamin Edward Stone, Madeline Rose Stone, Baby Boy Stowers, Hannah Messina Stowers, Joseph Celilo Stowers, Violet Stowers, Baby Strasberg, Bristol Ryan Strauss, Benjamin Strudler, Reagan Elizabeth Sublet, Baby Sullivan, Dakota Tristan Splendor Sullivan, Alexander Gilbert Sumner, Cruz Domingos Sumner, Gabriel Trivey Sunby, Jonah Johann Henry Sunby, Baby Swanger, Kellen Naomi Swanger, Timothy James Sweeney, Michael Joseph Sykeris, Mia Elizabeth Taft, Carolyn Tardif, Little One Tarrant, Patrick Carson Tarrant, Jordy Taylor, Joycelyn Grace Taylor, Landon Taylor, Nellie Taylor, Olivia Taylor, Michaela Ann Terlaga, Emily Ann Terwilliger, Chloe Rose Thomas, Aaliyah Thompson, Emma Marie Thompson, Shalise Danielle Melalana Thompson, Jasmine Paulette Thrower, Caden Quindell Thurman, Olivia and Sophia Thurman, Jensen Alexander Teakin, Riley Timothy, Colin Ryan Tyndall, Samantha Abigail Tyndall, Dash Tinio, Angel Marie Folly Tipton, Lily Joseph Titus, Oliver James Tomac, Amory Christian Townsend, Baby Townsend, Riley Leanne Townsend, Baby Travis, Macy Lane Travis, Margot Ray Trejo, Daphne Robertson Tripp, Elena Rosario Trujillo, Angel King Towson, Morgan Nicole Turner, Austin Taylor Tweedy, Jacob Dylan Valadez Johnson, Guadalupe Valdez, Alani Amaya Valdez Varela, Angel Baby Valle, James Owen Valov, David Everett Vandal, Caden Joe Vanderwall, Connor Vane, Isla Remy Varga, Callum Foster Varga, Amia Renee Vargas, Savannah Ray Vargas, Nayiri Varder Syrian, Natalia Valentina Vasquez, Brian Timothy Velasquez, Dylan Michael Belton, Landon Edward Belton, Anna Victoria, Angelita Villanueva, Jasmine Dawn Villanueva, Josiah Christopher Villanueva, Garrett Villarreal, Grayson Villena, Ryan James Volkman, Jacqueline Volbrecht, Baby Vonk, Dominic Kilolo Vonk, Kanika Lizette Vonk, Gunnar View, Christian Waldvogel, Katya Waldvogel, Max Waldvogel, Amari Jamal Walker, Liliana Elizabeth Wallace, Zoe Karen Warner, Malia Michelle Watkins, Riley Elizabeth Watkins, Timothy Watkins, Jagger James Watson, Adam Daniel Watson, Amelia Annery Webb, Hayden David Jerome Webb, Madison Lorraine Webb, Morgan Myers Weber Baldwin, Baby Wedge, Baby Weed, Ivy Weed, Sunshine Weed, Baby Weil, Maya Weil, Poppy and Bubbles Welch, Baby Wells III, Baby Wells V, Gabriel Evan Wells, Serena Midori Wells, Jameson Robert Weasel, Beatrice and Lourdes Savares Wheeler, Baby White, DJ Amory White, Henry Samuel Whitney, Jamie Wild, Luke Williamson, Baby Wilson 2004, Baby Wilson 2011, Brandon James Wilson, Heaven Grace Wilson, Baby Andy Van Winkle, Baby Van Winkle, Samuel James Van Winkle, Catherine Winslow, Emery Quinn Wires, Baby Wishner, Brady Witt, Mason Witt, Jordan Wojtek, Joseph Wojtek, Joshua David Wojtek, Kyla Wojtek, Samuel Wojtek, RJ Wojkowski, Max Wolf, Christiana Lynette Woods, Reese Caitlin Wood, Karen Grace Woods, Joshua Woods, Aiden and Sophie Wopat, Carly Louise Wright, Carson John Wright, Winter Olivia Wu, Zoe James Westman, Baby Yankovic, Nicole Ray Yankovic, Annalise Elena Yap, Isabel Yap, Minna Jaden Yee, Logan Zachary, Michael Brent Zatsky, Anthony Arturo Cezena, Angelica Maria Zeman, Baby Sendejas, Sofia Sendejas, Alexander Cristobal Zimmerman, Baby Zumbo, Valeria Luisa Zuniga, Lena Zuzek.
Thank you, Karina. Miriam Gonzalez, Nova Sexton, Ryan Sexton, Lainey Christine, Mercy Shamus, Penelope Madrano. I think that we have read all of them. I'm just going to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. I know it was long because we have lots of names, which is so honestly really sad that we have so many names, but we are honored that we were able to say your baby's name. Thank you, Karina, for helping say those names. Thank you, Sky, for performing today and telling your story. And thank you, Christy Wopat, for joining us, telling your story and talking to us a little bit. I also want to say thank you to our kids who helped out a ton today, and my parents who always help so much. I'm just making sure that we don't have any other names to say. In the next couple of months, we're really hoping that we'll be able to open up some in-person meetings. I definitely think that will happen, hopefully by July or August. We do have our Wave of Light ceremony that we did virtually last year, but it looks like this year we'll be able to do it at the beach live, and like we have always done it. And that is on October 15th, which is a Friday this year, which is great. So hopefully you'll join us in La Jolla. We're going to continue our virtual meetings, especially since we've gained so many amazing people from across the country that need support. And so we'll continue with those even when we have our in-person meetings. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who helped out for this. And we can't wait to see everyone in person. Have a good afternoon and evening, everybody.